papers and also the announcement. From 2014 onwards, for real property gain tax, for individual, for the disposal, for your assets, within the first 3 years, for individual, you basically have to pay a 30% gain tax. For this disposal in a year, the 4th year is about 20%. For the 5th year is 15%. Of course, for individual, for the disposal in the 6 years, there's no gain tax. However, for foreigner, it is interesting to note that for the first 5 years, when you dispose of your assets, you have a gain tax of 30%. Just to take note, that is the changes before and after. As what you can see over here, for foreigners, is for the first 2 years is 15, and for the 3rd year is 10, and for the 5th year is 0. Now, basically, for the first 5 years is 30%. And of course, under the budget measures, the minimum purchase price of property for foreigners, it has increased from 500,000 to 1 million. That is for Malaysia. And it is also noted that the DIBS scheme is no longer allowable by financial institutions to provide funding for those projects involving in DIBS. Meaning is that whatever DIBS project that has been introduced since 2007, there must be a stop right now. There's no more DIBS schemes. Okay, for the new measures imposed by the Penang State Government, of course this is not something new, effective 1st of July 2012. For foreigners who have the interest to invest in Penang, for stratified property or strata title property, it will have to be 1 million and onwards. And for the case of landed property, it has to be on at 2 million and above. And effective 1st of February 2014, all foreign purchases will be subjected to an additional of 3% levy on the transacted price of their property. That is effective on the 1st of February 2014. This is something addition. And of course, our state government also have introduced a new measure effective on the 1st of February. A 2% levy will be imposed on the seller for disposal of all types of property within 3 years from the date of sales and purchase agreement signed from 1st of February 2014 onwards. Meaning is that whoever who buy a property right now, for the first 3 years, in order for you to dispose of your assets, you basically have to pay an additional of 2% levy. This is something new in the market which has never happened before. However, our state government has mentioned this 2% levy is not applicable to affordable housing, which has been introduced by the state government. What is the likely impact of the measures and budgets? We foresee an upward reversions of RGT and the removal of DIBS are expected to cool off the property market in Malaysia. That is for sure. Okay, and the property sales are foreseen to slow down in the short term, probably within the next 3 to 6 month time. And we probably think that the market will self-correct or cushion the impact of this measure in the medium term due to the healthy fundamental of demand for real estate in Penang. And the market sentiments for the upmarket properties are expected to consolidate further. And for the outlook of 2014, so for the audience, what is your outlook of the Penang real estate market now compared to 1 year ago? Do you think it's more positive, looking into the current measures imposed by the federal and the state government? Do you think that it will be less positive? Yes. Yes? And what about more or less about the same? To us, we feel that the market will be either slightly less positive or about the same. It's because of Penang property market still relatively strong. It's because of due to a very healthy fundamental, and we really have a very young population demographics. Means we have a lot of people with the needs of buying houses for their own use. And as what I mentioned just now, the shrinking of the average household size now from previously 4.6 to now on the average of 4.2. In the case of Penang, now is about 3.5, meaning that there is more needs for people to buy smaller homes for their family formations. Okay, and Penang, as evidences now, our unemployment rate is below 2%, and everybody having a very good job, good employment, plenty of money in the pockets, and they will continue to invest in real estate. Because of real estate, all this while has been referred to as an investment tools to hedge against inflations. That has been evidenced by the historical trend that those good properties that you have invested, usually over the next 10 or 15 years, you probably may have an average growth rate of between 5 to 6%. As against that, you put the money into the bank, probably you may be able to draw interest of between 2.75% to 3.1%. Investment in property over the long run will probably give you a better gain. At the same time, for those investment property, you may be able to also receiving some rental income as well. Okay, and we probably think that we have a very vibrant local and foreign investments. Definitely have created a lot of job opportunity, and we really have a very stable income level. As what I mentioned just now, the household income is within the bracket between 3,000 to 4,000 ringgit per month, which is slightly above the average of other states in Malaysia. And the further outlook is that the active residential subsector will spearhead in the market. I will probably think that residential property will continue to do well as compared to other type of property development in Penang. And it is also noted that just now in my graph that I show you that there's a large incoming supply, which is about 57,000 incoming supply coming into the market over the next 2-3 years. But the numbers actually are not scary as compared to other states. We are talking about Penang states, we only have another 57,000 units coming into the market over the next 3 years. And we foresee the price, with all the measures taken place, the price of real estate properties in Penang will stabilize on the island. Okay, and we do not foresee there's any asset bubble. And we also can foresee that smaller home and a more affordable home will be likely be built on the island with the sizes, say, about 1,000 square feet condominium units, rather than compared to those days the developer is building those typical 2,000 to 3,000 square feet kind of condominium developments. Of course, for investors' interest, it has always been strong in prime location on the island itself. And usually most of the investors, what we can foresee, the outlook is that they will still probably continue to invest in some hotspot area on the island, like the area of Gurney Drive, of course in Pulau Tikus, and some of the area in Tanjung Bunga and Tanjung Tokong. And there are a lot of opportunity and investment will take place in the new waterfront development, like the light development developed by the IJM. Of course, Queens Bay area will including those up-and-coming developments surrounding the Queens Bay area. And Penang World City is one of it. And of course, Sri Tanjung Pinang by the E&O group will be one of the existing exciting development on the island that most of the investors are actually looking into the investment opportunity. The opportunity is equally exciting on mainland. As announced on the media, IKEA will open a new store at Batu Kawan, and it will be located within a 245-acre integrated township. And this is a very exciting location. It's because of the second Penang Bridge is about to open, and it will link Penang Island from Batu Mau all the way to Batu Kawan. So it is exciting to know that IKEA is opening up a store over here. Not other places except Klang Valley right now. IKEA, this is a second store to be located in Malaysia. And other major development also proposed at Batu Kawan, including a premium retail shopping outlet this premium retail shopping outlet will be a very similar one that's currently located in Johor. It will be built in Batu Kawan, and of course there will be a 300-room international class hotel to be built, and plus a campus, plus a KTU University College. It will be built within the new township in Batu Kawan. With all these exciting developments is going to be carried out over the next 5 years. I will probably say that there will be more and more development to be carried out on the mainland in Batu Kawan area. It's because of the second bridge, the linkage is easy accessibility for people to travel from the island to the mainland and from the mainland to the island. Finally, property is a long-term investment. The new budget measures and Penang State's new housing guidelines will bring positive notes to promote a healthier and sustainable property market in Penang. So that is the end of my presentations. Thank you very much. And as what I said, my presentation will last me for about 45 minutes. It's about right. And we are now actually record based on the recent transactions. We have yet to reach 1,000 ringgit per square foot. Not at the moment. What I know of is that there are two transactions that has been taken place within the Komtar area. The recorded prices is very close to about 700 ringgit per square foot. But bear in mind, 700 ringgit per square foot, that is referring to development land with the zoning for commercial use. It's not for residential use. Okay.
I just want to ask a simple question. I heard that the Penang State government recently incorporated affordable housing within a new housing scheme now. Assuming I'm going to apply a new one, it insists that you allocate certain percentage of this value, certain percent of that value. Does that mean that those waterfront area like Sri Tanjung, the Lights, Queensway or whatnot, they have to follow this ruling if they are going to submit new? That's question number one. Question number two, for example, the Light, those that are buying now, like Light Collection 1, 2, 3, 4, they are high-end property, residential condo, so they don't need those affordable category, which means I'm going to say that this area, this kind of project are better than the coming one, because when you incorporate an affordable type of housing in your scheme, it won't look that high-end already. Is that people's opinion? What's your opinion? Sorry, I am bad outside, I can't talk properly.
No worries. You are referring to affordable housing development to be carried out in Penang over the next 1-2 years, even with the existing ongoing one. Okay, let me share with you. For affordable housing is something that the developer will have to comply if, number one, your land which is currently zoned under residential, in order for you to apply for higher density of development, which means those days for a certain area whereby you are only allowable to build, say, 1 acre up to 60 units for residential land, and now you're applying for a certain special area that the local authority allow you to increase up to 87 units per acre. For the case of commercial land, in order for you to increase your density development up to 5 times to build commercial suite development, basically you have to comply by providing affordable housing. Similarly to residential land as well. So for those who have increased the development, the density of development, affordable housing is a need that that has to be built and provided by the developer, with the control pricing of between the first tier is 200,000 and below, 300,000 and below, and 400,000 and below. I'm just referring to Penang Island, okay? And for those total number of units to be developed on the land, 25% of the total unit will have to be under the classification of affordable housing. So with regards to your question just now as to some of the development, it appears that because the land is probably say 1.5 acre or even 2 acres, that you only have one building to be built. Say for example, you are building a high-end upmarket condominium, and within the one block, say 30 story or 40 story, you probably may have the so-called 25% of the affordable housing to be located within the same block. Of course, that depending on the design and the proposal by the developer. There's no control or the guideline as to whether they allow you to separate. It's entirely up to the developer. The question as to why as to whether the affordable unit located within the same block that will create value or less value, we don't know, because we have yet to see the impact. And the development which are currently having affordable housing unit into it, and a handful of the development is in the market has yet to be completed. We have yet to see any impact on that.
Shawn, recently the state government mentioned something at a development at the SP Chelia area, and was that a place that they intend to turn into an affordable housing scheme?
That has been announced. Of course, there's a long queue, as also reported in the media, that a lot of people are rushing in order to qualify themselves to buy those affordable units. It's because of those who wanted to live in a inner city or live within the fringe of at the fringe of a Georgetown area. Usually, people will rush all the way to buy all these affordable housing units. Of course, whoever who apply for it, they have to make sure that they are qualified. Is there any other questions? If not, I'm going to end the sessions.
Right. Yeah, on that note, I think Shawn is the person most qualified to answer all of these questions. And in fact, we are very grateful that Shawn is sharing all this information with us. Some of this information through his very hard work that he has compiled from a very thick report to a very simple, easy to digest information. And I'm quite sure, Shawn, you'll be around for later if there's anyone who wants to make further inquiry.
I'll be around.